What is going on, everyone? Back with another video. I want to get back to just talking about manga. I have so many ideas planned where I want to do like in-depth deep dives. I still have my homunculus one coming, don't worry. But I was like, I'm losing the art. I'm losing a recipe of just sitting there and yapping about manga. So welcome to the new series, Yapping About Manga. Every week, I will post one of these videos of just me yapping about manga. No edits, no anything. If I forget something, I forget it. If I mess up, I mess up. I just want to talk about manga, have it be like a conversation. Nothing special about these videos. So if that sounds interesting to you, welcome along for the ride. So this is going to be week 1 of Yapping About Manga. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. So the first manga I read this week, Solo Leveling, Volume 5. This was a really good volume. I really enjoyed it. At first, it seemed like it was starting off kind of slow, but then it kind of picked up. And what I like about this show is literally just aura and vibes. There's nothing else. I say show. What I like about the manga, I'm watching anime too, but that's probably why I said show. But what I like about the story is just aura and vibes. Nothing more, nothing less. I think that, we do get a little bit of character development in Sung Jin Woo, but it's not anything exponential. It's nothing crazy. It's just he's getting stronger. We learn a little more of the inner workings of his mind as he's trying to navigate this system. That's it. That's really all it comes down to. So just having the interest in monsters, having it feel like a video game, a fun video game at that. I literally, when I'm reading this, it makes me want to play this game. It makes me want to play Elden Ring games like that. But it's like, if this was a video game, definitely would play it. Well, it would be close to it. Like Cyberpunk would be the closest thing, even though, it's not quite. But I guess, I don't know. But I really enjoy it. I like that we're getting, different characters. There's nothing much to any character. It's not like any characters have like such strong personalities, but I do like a lot of the storylines. There's so many storylines going on at one time, but it never feels confusing. It all feels in place. That's what I really like about this. And not to mention, I think the main character is one of just the dopest main characters we've had in a while, to me at least. And yeah, just adding the different storylines and how they all intertwine. You'll see a panel or two here, and then it'll pay off in like another volume. Like, it's just crazy. I think that it's just well put together. There's not enough good things I can say about Solo Leveling. The anime seems like it's just pretty tip-top shape as well. Getting a lot of details in that's from the manga, as well as still trying to, obviously keeping it interesting for those who are watching. Just overall, from the manga to the anime, great stuff. The next one I have is Dan Volume 10. I read this as well. This was a very good volume. I had a long break between Volume 9 and Volume 10, I believe, and because I read Volume 9, I read Volume 9 late and then got to Dan Volume 10 late. So I was just very behind. But I already got Volume 11. Spoiler alert for my next manga haul. But Dan is still Dan. I still enjoy it. There's nothing I could really take away from it. One thing I will say is similar to Solo Leveling, like the different storylines. I think the storylines here are pretty linear, as in it's one thing, like it's one thing after another, and it keeps the flow going. But it's not how Solo Leveling just introduce you to bits and pieces. It's a little more straightforward. I like the introduction of characters. There's so many characters in here, and even the side characters that you kind of see a little more often than you would think you would see a side character. They even still like steal the show when they're on like Momo's Friends. Both of them are hilarious. I really enjoy that. And then, of course, I never remember the guy's name, but you got the guy with the glasses who's on the cover. Him, I forget his name, but he's a very funny guy. Every time you see him on a panel, something hilarious will be said. So overall, I think it's just really good. Even the new alien girl, as we see, she is just also a very good character, and I think that it's bringing she doesn't really have much, if that explains. Like, it's not like there's really much to her, but seeing how other characters interact with her makes her a valuable part of this story. So I think that while Dandadan's a little more linear, I would say, it's wacky. It's wacky. I don't think there's anything as wacky as Dandadan, but I feel as though tells a story. Like, it's kind of pretty straightforward in that term. I just like what she helps provide from the story. Of course, we know Akuran, he's going to do what he does. We know Momo, she's going to do what she do. We know Granny and Turbo Granny are going to do what they do. It's just overall, I think that having those characters, having just a ensemble, and it won Best Ensemble for my manga awards. I think that having so many characters and yet it never feels as though a character is being underutilized or not getting enough attention. I think that's skill. And Yukinobu Tatsu has done a fantastic job with this. I can't wait to read Volume 11. I very well may read this right now. Like, it's just that good. I might just read it right now. Like, stop the video and read it, because I was super, as soon as I finished 10, I was super excited for 11. Went in Barnes & Noble today, and it just so happened to be there. Next we have this is going to be quick. And I've been stuck on this series for a while because it's not, I still don't think it's bad, but it's hard for me to get through. And that is Colorist by Kent. I think that the premise on here is pretty cool. I think the action is good, but I will say the paneling, just the art style makes it a little difficult to understand exactly what's happening. Either way, though, I still think it's good. This is very linear in every sense of the word. Like, there's nothing really to it. It's just a good, like, beat 'em up, powers, that kind of thing. I mean, there's a little bit of storylines here and there, like who's the Order, who really is this girl that she, I believe her name is, that's going around with them. See, this is why I shouldn't read too much manga, because then I don't remember everybody's name. So I remember characters who I don't, care for, but then I can't remember like key characters here. And I think her name starts with a V. Vamula. That's her name. But anyway, the point is, you get a little bit of that, but as far as just does it feel like it's paying off to this giant thing? Not really. It's just a very straightforward manga. There's nothing wrong with that. I think there's a place in art for stuff like that, because I feel as though everything has a purpose, and I don't think the purpose of this is just to have some fantastic story or whatever. I think it's just to show how color really can be used in the manga space and how it can be used tastefully, and it does an exceptional job of. I really enjoy that aspect of it, and then kind of to build a story around it. It is what it is, but not bad by any means. It's just a little more difficult to get through. By far, not one of the worst things I've read. Like, I'm going to finish the series. I don't feel like it's a DNF, so I'm going to keep reading it. But that's just my opinion on that. And then the biggest thing I've been reading, and as you all know, is Berserk. I finished this. I finished the Black Swordsman arc, and then obviously at the end of this is the first chapter of the Golden Age arc. And let me tell you, that's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. I need more of it injected into my veins. I'm actually going to do a video on the Black Swordsman arc specifically and just give my thoughts, and we're going to talk about paneling and details and all of that. Like, I really want to go into it. And this manga is what inspired me to kind of come back and do this series where I literally am just yapping about manga, because as I prepare for videos like this, and I have one for I already said, I mentioned Homunculus, and you see how long that's taken. It's just time. It's just a tedious edit. It's not like it's bad or it's hard. It's just tedious. But I have this, and then I plan on doing something for Tokyo Ghoul, as I'm about to start Tokyo Ghoul Re, and I want to actually reread Tokyo Ghoul. I know I shouldn't, but I am. So I have a video I want to do for that, but that takes a little more like planning and adjustment. So I don't want to go, because one of my biggest things about YouTube in general is I would hate to, because I am trying to do such big content or more, diverse content, I don't want it to take too long and then there's no content on the channel. The whole point of this channel was to just talk about manga. It just so happened that I didn't think it would grab me in a way where, no, I want to analyze it. I want to like really, really dive in, and I've just been inspired. So I don't really know what those videos are going to look like. It's going to change, because I'm going to try different stuff and see what I like, see what I don't like. I had a comment last video talking about how y'all enjoyed how me standing up and walking around and talking in the cuts. So that's really good feedback. So I need that kind of feedback to know how to kind of put these videos together. But until then, I'm just going to try stuff and see what I like, see what you like. But yeah, Berserk has inspired me to just want to do more content like that. So as soon as I was reading Berserk, it was like, there's so much here in the Black Swordsman arc that what other manga have I not really thought about? It's like, oh, there's so much to talk about here, and I really haven't done it justice. So that's why I want to do those in-depth videos. However, I don't want to lose the recipes of just sitting here and yapping and doing manga hauls and whatnot. But yeah, Berserk, great. Guts is a fantastic character. Puck is a lot funnier than I expected. I didn't expect like a funny sidekick, not really be able to do anything type character to have such an impact on me and how I perceive that story. But Puck has just done a fantastic job of that. Puck has made me emotional. Puck has made me laugh. Puck has made me dragged me into the story. Just had me feeling hopeful for certain. Puck is a huge part of this to me. Like I've heard so much about Guts. I've heard so much about can't think of his name right now. The guy in the God Hand. I'm oh man, this is why I shouldn't read so much. But him as well. It's gonna bother me. It's gonna bother me. I'm sorry. It's gonna bother me. This is gonna be the first cut because I know I was trying to do this with no cuts, but this is gonna be a cut because I'm looking. Griffith. It was Griffith, and then he has another name that I closed the book so I can find it. But Griffith, I've heard so much about them two specifically. Not to there's other characters in here like even the Count's daughter as we got into. I think that is the Black Swordsman chapters. Yeah, so getting into the Count's daughter, the Count, like all these Vargas. I remember freaking Vargas, but I don't remember Griffith. Either way, the point is there's so many characters in here that I have heard of, but there's also so many characters that I obviously did not know were part of the story, but have a huge impact on how the story is told. Artwork in here is fantastic. The action in here is fantastic. I think that you're getting, already you're getting like ideas of Guts and who he is as a person without him really even saying anything. I think that's just fantastic. That comes from the paneling, that comes from the dialogue, that comes from just facial expressions. That's just a Kentaro Miura. Hats off to you because that's just really good stuff. It's not in your face, but there's so much you can take away from each and every single page. And I really love it. But I see I'm getting along on time here. 12 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it under 12. So as we're approaching 12 minutes exactly right here. Thanks so much for watching. I have a manga haul coming for you soon. You can't actually see, but I have a bunch of manga. I say a bunch. It's like 15 volumes. I have 15 volumes of manga right here of just different stuff. Most of these are continued series. Some of them are new things. But I am excited to read them. And some of them kind of already seen. But either way, I have more and more content coming for you. I plan a lot of content. It's just a matter of putting it all together, editing, all that stuff. But it is coming. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for everything you've done. If you like any of these videos or want me to do more, which I will, but if you want to see more, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.